welcome back. This is a very exciting section today. We're talking about how breathwork works. But to do that, let's talk a little bit about trauma. And people think that trauma, I don't have any trauma. Trauma is from, a huge traumatic event, but it doesn't have to be. Trauma is a result of what has happened to you in the past, from past experiences or events where we haven't been able to regulate our nervous system or deal with things properly. The animal kingdom, if they are being chased by a tiger, a gazelle's being chased by a tiger, at the end of it, you know what it does to reset? It shakes. What do? We just bury and suppress, and all that energy gets stored in our body, and it wants to come out. It needs to be processed, and that's what breathwork does. Breathwork shuts the monkey mind down and allows the body to take over and do what it needs to do to bring up that energy that has been stuck in our body. And it might be connected to something from when you were 4 years old. I had a memory come up for me from when I was 4, when I was taken away to live in a new town away from my grandma and grandpa, who I loved very, very much. And that might not seem like a traumatic event, that's just mum and dad wanted to go off and start their new life. But it was very traumatic for me. And not being able to resolve or process that at a very young age, you just got told, sit in the back seat, we're going, stop crying. That emotion has to get buried, and it got stuck somehow in my body. And it came up as a memory for me in one of my breath works, and I was able to release it. And I was also able to see the gift in that moment of how lucky I was to have a grandma and grandpa that loved me so much, especially my grandpa. He was the first man to ever love me, and he set the pattern for how other men would come into my life and love me. And that is how I've ended up with such a wonderful, amazing husband, because the standard was set for me. So that's just an example of how breath work showed me what a beautiful gift that I have had in my life from a traumatic experience from my past. Now yours might be very different, and everybody's journey is unique and complete to them. So we're going to talk about what can actually happen in a breathwork session next. Hope you'll join me back on the couch. Cassy from Breathe and Connect.